Hi, this is Carl. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the CorelDraw 2018 series, and it is in the playlist called Software. So let's go ahead and get started. This is where I keep my icon. So here's the welcome screen, loading it up right now. So let's give it a couple seconds and get this thing going. Here we go. Okay, like I showed you in the first video, come up here to the File, click the New, and this window will open up. Now you can click on this radio button right here. Do not show this dialog again, but for tutorial purpose I'm just going to leave it unchecked and just set these parameters at letter 8.5 by 11, which is normal sheet of paper, and it's untitled for now. I'm just going to change this to tip 2 and hit the OK button down there in the bottom. Okay, over here on the left side, you see I have the bigger toolbars here, or ribbons, whatever you like to call them. We're going to go over the rectangle, the ellipse, and the polygon tools. It's going to be a fairly short video. I'm just going to introduce you to these three right here. Let's start with the rectangle. Left click, highlight it. You see the little triangle in the corner. It has different rectangle or 3-point rectangle, whichever you choose. We're just going to go with a straight rectangle for right now. Just come over to your drawing page and left click and drag. Pretty easy, not much to that. You can reshape it to your liking with these handles right here. There's another one. Here's another rectangle. Left click and drag. Now let's go back and undo a couple of these. I'm going to hit the undo button. Let's see, where's it at on there? There it is. Take some of those out. Now if you go back over to the pick tool, you can highlight this and move this anywhere on the page that you like. But I'm going to hit P on the keyboard, which will center this rectangle. Anytime you hit the P on the keyboard with the item highlighted, it will put it directly in the center of your drawing page here. Okay, let me show you a little trick on here. If you go over here and hit your rectangle tool again, hold down the control key, left click and drag, and it makes a perfect square. Let me do that again. Perfect square. Okay, this is without holding down the control key. This is holding down the control key. So left click and drag, holding down the control will make a perfect square. So I'm going to delete that one, that one, that one, and that one, and highlight this one and just move it over to the side here. Now let's go with the ellipse tool. Just like with a square, you can left click and drag. You can just left click and drag. Put your circle, oval, whatever you like to call it. And just like the rectangle, if you hold the control button, left click and drag, it will put down the perfect circle. Now I've got to mention on the rectangle, but if you come up here to these measurements right here, you can pick your size that you want. I'm just going to put 5 and 5 here. See what happens. There we go. Let's do this again. Let's highlight this one, and I'm going to put 2 and 2 and hit enter. There we go. That one changed the position of this one. Now look right here. If you follow my pointer, right here I'm going to write 2, and this one I'm going to write 7. Hit the enter button. You see how it changed size? Let me show that again. I'm going to pull this over here, right here on top of this circle here. So let's come up here. I'm going to change this to 4, and this one I'm going to put, let's just say 7.5. Hit enter button. You see how it immediately changed size. Now I'm going to hit the P to center that, and I'm going to take my pick tool, highlight this circle, and I'm going to hit the P and center that one. Okay, let's go over here to the Polygon, and if you click the little triangle, you see all these different shapes that will come up. We're going to go over some of these in different videos, but we're just going to go with a straight Polygon tool. So just like with this rectangle and the ellipse, I'm going to left click and drag. I have a 5-sided polygon. If you follow my pointer cursor, come up here to this right here, and you can change the number of sides that's on here. Now if you watch down here, and I'm going to change the amount of sides that's on this. Let me take it back down. You could either click on this little triangle, or you can manually put it in. So I'm just going to put 3, enter, made a triangle. I'm going to put 5, enter, there you go. And just like with the ellipse and the rectangle, if you left click and hold down the control, you'll have perfect sides on the measurements. So every side's going to be perfect. So let's go back up here to, let's change that to 8. Now you have a stop sign, octagon, 6, hexagon, 4 be a diamond or a square, well, you can turn it to a square. 3 be a triangle. Let's see, I'm going to just type in 10, enter. There you go, got 10 sides now. I don't quite remember what you call a 10-sided item, but anyway, let me show you something else while we're here. I'm going to go ahead and take this, and I'm going to place it right there and hit P, and I'm going to hit the right arrow. I'm going to move this over to the right, just like this, one little bit at a time. There we go. Now I'm going to take all these, where they're all highlighted, and if you come up here to the object, come down here to it says shaping, and click on the weld. Look what happens. Now the polygon, the oval, ellipse, and the circle, now it's all one item. Now I'm going to undo that. I'm going to just take this one, move it out. I'm going to take this one, make it a little bit bigger. So let's just take this and make it 6 by 6, enter. And now this ellipse, I'm just going to take it and make that a 9, enter. There we go. Now just like we did before, we can take and highlight both of these objects, come up here to object, come down to shaping, hit weld, and there you go. Pretty cool little design there. Anyway, this is the basic tip on rectangle, ellipse, and polygon. My name is Carl, and I appreciate you being here.